Good morning, church. Hey, listen, I just wanted to come to you and just give you a couple of uh, pieces of information. So, beginning this Sunday on January 10th, we're going to be beginning 21 days of prayer and fasting. As you know, for the past 3 years, we've actually had a culture of praying and fasting, especially at the beginning of the year. And we believe that that's an important way to kind of set the tone for 2021, or at least for the beginning of each year. So this year, we want to do the same thing for 2021. We've decided actually to move up our fast from January 24th, when we were originally planning to do it, here to January 10th. And the reason why is because we just feel like that the Spirit might be leading us uh, to begin praying and fasting, because the world's in a pretty rough spot right now, isn't it? It actually has been for quite some time. There are some undercurrents of things that have just been really difficult, some injustices that have been happening, and some turmoil. And we just believe that, the last year with the pandemic and all the protesting and all of the things that um, are really just not settling well. We just want to bring those things to the Lord, and we want to bring ourselves to the Lord and say, Lord, what would you have us do? How would you have us to return to you? And that's actually the theme of this entire prayer and fasting season. We're using Joel chapter 2 as kind of our guiding scripture. And starting in verse 12, it says this: "Even now, declares the Lord, return to me with all of your heart, with fasting and weeping and mourning." And then he goes on to say in verse 25 that he will give us back what we have lost. Listen, it doesn't take much to realize that there is a lot going on in this country and in the world. Um, and maybe you've been touched by grief, injustice, and so many other things uh, that we've noticed going on. We don't want to just let that go. Oftentimes, it's pretty easy to see the enemy at work all around us, especially if you pay attention to social media and news outlets. And we have had a deep culture of prayer in this church for as long as I've been a part of it. And especially here in recent times, we've been engaging in the 109 prayer for individuals who have become sick, or um, uh, even just for our country, for different aspects of new ministries. And we've seen God do some incredible things in people's life. We've experienced some painful things along the journey. I think of the grief that many have experienced with loss to people close to them. We've lost even Joyce Cotterman and others this year. By the way, Joyce was a fierce prayer warrior, and that's one of the things I'll always remember about her. But I wanted to give you some understanding of how this is going to work out. So in the first week, beginning Sunday with the evening meal, we're going to be focusing on our return to Jesus, a return to focusing on Jesus. And so each day we're going to have an online devotional, and that devotional will kind of set a direction for our prayer. And so we're going to be talking about worshiping Jesus. We're going to be talking about our dependence on him, surrendering to him, staying committed to him, obeying him, and ultimately how to experience the Lord. And then we're going to be talking about returning to God's work within us. You see, there are many of us that have experienced some pain and trauma in our lives. And we're going to start dealing with that. Maybe it's even come in this year, or maybe there's been something that's happened through the pandemic and just the change of lifestyle that it's gotten us a little bit unsettled. So we're going to bring that to the Lord, and he's going to, and we're going to be praying over freedom from bondage, healing from disease, vision for our lives. Lord, how can we actually know what it is that you've called us to and begin walking in that? We're going to be talking about blessing in the midst of trouble, victory over the enemy. And then we're going to believe him for miracles for the impossible. In the third week, we're going to be talking about our mission together. That's the mission of the church, is global body of believers, and specifically in our local context. So we're going to be asking for revival in our nation. That's the entire country. That is a fresh move of the Spirit happening in order that we would turn back to the Lord, and that we would find not only that there are miracles, signs, and wonders happening, but we would see a shift in this country towards honoring the Lord and choosing to serve him. We're also going to be talking about building up the church, talking about fighting for our families and reaching our spheres of influence, whether it's in our workplaces, our schools, our families, or friendships. And then we're also going to be talking about and praying through salvation for our generation. This is an interesting time. So much is, I've talked to so many people, and they've said that they've never seen anything like the things that are happening today. Some of them have said that they've seen some of these things before in times, or maybe we've even heard about these things happening in history. But we don't know how to approach them now, and we don't know what the Lord has in store for us in the future. So we're just going to press in and see what our role is to, as a Better Together movement, to move into what the Lord would have us to pray for. I'm in a class right now, and one of the things that was said in that class is pretty powerful. He said that if you look at the Lord's Prayer, it says, "Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven." And sometimes the point that was made was sometimes there's work that has to be done in the heavenly realm, in the spiritual realm, when believers go to the Lord in prayer to kind of prepare the way for the work that is about to happen in heaven. And prepare the way, it comes right out of Isaiah 40. And I would encourage you to read it. But this idea that intercessory prayer, somebody standing in the gap in prayer and fasting, that somehow that spiritual sacrifice enables spiritual power on the earth. And so we are asking that the Lord's will would happen in the earth, and that we would be able to participate along with him. Through all of this, you might have a lot of questions about how the fast will work, what you should give up. And so I would encourage you to a couple of things. First thing, maybe take this to the Lord in prayer. Lord, how are you calling me to participate in this fast? What can I do? Do you just want me focused on prayer in this season? Or do you want me to give something up? Maybe there's been some habits that you would like to change, that you can maybe offer up to the Lord during this season of 21 days. And we know 21 days is a great way to kickstart positive habits. We also know that that maybe there's somebody in your life that your heart is just burdened for or broken for, and you would just really like to see God do a work in their life. Maybe you could fast on their behalf. So Lord, what is it that you would call us to give up? For some of you, it's going to be food. For some of you, it might be social media. For some of you, it might be some kind of vice that you've been participating in and you want to get freedom over. For some of you, it might even it might be something specific like sodas or chocolate or different things. It doesn't really matter what's sacrificed. If you do what the Lord is asking you to do, then you'll find that spiritual power comes along with it. So we would just encourage you to seek the Lord in that. And we're also, the second thing, we're also going to have a Q&A session. Maybe you're not sure exactly what you should give up. Maybe you have questions about how this works, the theology behind it. I am certainly not an expert in this, but I have learned some things over the last couple of years, and I would love to just open up in a forum to be able to answer some of those questions. So if you have questions, would you either through Facebook send me a direct message through my Facebook account, Matt Lightfoot is my name, or would you go ahead and jump in on a live call when we have that? I haven't decided when it's going to happen, but it's going to be sometime this weekend, so that way you have enough time to prepare for Sunday. But listen, I'm so grateful that that this message is coming to you, and we're thankful that you've been such an active part of the church. We love you guys. We're praying for you daily, and we just want to encourage you in this 2021 season that the Lord is still at work. I can't wait to get started in this and begin to see what God does as we start the year with Him. So thank you, folks. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat or shoot me a direct message, and I would love to chat with you even more about it. God bless you as we get started on 21 days of prayer and fasting beginning this Sunday with the evening meeting.